Hello. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today and sharing in this practice with me. Today we will be taking a guided meditation focusing on our root chakra to allow us to become more grounded, feel a little safer and secure in our bodies, but also in our emotional and mental well-being, and just to help us find that space to become a little more connected to our low bodies, to our roots, to our home within ourselves. I'm going to suggest today that we take this meditation from a seated posture. So that might mean seated flat on the earth. It might mean seated up on a bolster or on a prop like I am, if your hips are feeling a little tender. It also might mean being seated in a chair that has a nice strong back with your feet planted on the earth. Whatever that upright posture looks like to you is totally fine. And just allow yourself to find a space where you can feel strong and confident and supported in that physical posture. Wherever you are, you might choose to cross your legs, you might choose to stretch them out long, but we will start by finding our sits bones, those two little bones, one in each cheek. Sometimes you have to physically or manually manipulate and move that flesh out of the way. And then you might allow yourself to tilt very far forward, to tilt very far back. So you can kind of feel those bones and notice where they are. Find the extremes of being way ahead of them and way behind them. And then allow yourself to find that middle centered point where you can balance right on them. Once you've come to that centered point, you might zip up gently with your belly button, drop your shoulders down your spine, and feel your ears tugging ever so slightly to the sun. Once you find that long line in your torso, it might feel good for you to close your eyes down. If not, just allow them to soften and focus on a point a few feet ahead and down of you on the floor or on the earth. From here, we're going to find a big breath in through our nose and out our mouth like a sigh. Again, big full breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Last time, big inhale through your nose. Exhale, jaw drops and release. Now we'll seal our lips and find that breath moving in and out through our nose, traveling up our sinuses, down our throat, and expanding our lungs wide in all directions. Exhale allows lungs and ribs to contract, gently pushing that breath back the way it came, up and out. Feeling that little tickle over your top and bottom lip. As we begin to soften around our eyes and around our jaw, you might even swallow once or twice, releasing that musculature of your throat. Letting shoulder blades drop down your back and elbows hang loose at your sides. Hands will rest palm down on your thighs. Feeling that connection to your own body. Sending that energy into our legs, into our lower halves. And start to see if we can visualize that breath dropping even lower, so that as our diaphragm expands, our belly becomes wide and full, And then on our exhale, we draw in and up like you were zipping up a tight jacket. Notice that diaphragmatic movement all the way around yourself, not just in your front, in your belly, but also in your back, in that curve of your lumbar spine, maybe even down into your sacrum. Inhaling to expand, to fill, to open, and exhaling to contract, drawing in and up. From here, we might draw our attention and our imaginations down to your tailbone. To that root, that lowest part of our torso. Notice any feeling or sensation in this physical space in our body, the way it feels against your chair or your prop or your mat. Maybe even allow that inhale breath to expand at your pelvis, at those lowest muscles. And your exhale allows them to soften and release, relaxing just a little more toward the earth. And we'll begin to imagine or to visualize our tailbone growing roots, and feeling those roots burrow through our seat, through the floor, through the foundation of the building you're in, all the way down to the earth. As though you were a magnificent tree. We feel ourselves anchoring and grounding down so that we can draw that vitality from the earth itself. Your roots might web or vine outward like a bunch of grapes or a spider web. Or perhaps you have one strong central taproot driving down in a straight line. Or maybe it's both. Maybe that taproot burrows, and when it feels secure and ready, that web of capillaries begins to venture out and wide. Allow your imagination to really take hold here. Try to be as specific as possible. Visualizing your spine into your sacrum, into your coccyx or tailbone, and into those roots penetrating the earth. Noticing how it's all connected. Noticing the power and strength you are drawing from the ground up. And you might find that the larger and sturdier that root system becomes, the better able you are to sit up tall, to find that length and expansion in your spine, in your ribs, in your own physical skeleton. You might feel the crown of your head growing reaching just a little higher to the sun, knowing that it is supported and secure. Knowing that it has that beautiful energy to draw from. As we find that beautiful pull of the earth at our root, start to notice that sensation of home within your own body. Notice those feelings of peace, of safety. And notice how they are within you already, within our own physical being. There for you anytime you need them. Give yourself permission to breathe into that space, to breathe into those feelings, and to breathe into that visualization of your very own roots. You might think of this space as your home base, as your safety net. Knowing that it's always there for you, ready and waiting to take you in, to offer you that warm hug of security. And begin to check back in with those roots you've created. Maybe even allowing them to spread and noticing each part of you that's touching a surface. Your glutes, your thighs, your knees, your feet. Begin to feel that root system grow from those spaces as well. Allowing you to feel grounded and calm. Allowing your breath to drop low and deep. Allowing each and every part of yourself to slow down. Whether that's your breath, your heart, your mind. You might begin to consider what that concept of being grounded or rooted means to you. Noticing what associations or images you might have with those words and feelings. all the while allowing your breath to drop low. Allowing that visualization to continue, those roots tapping all the way to the center of the earth, spreading wide, traveling out underneath your home, your city, your country. When you're ready, you might begin to visualize those roots drawing back in towards yourself, reversing their path, finding their way all the way back to your seat, to your physical body. And perhaps today it serves you to keep that connection, to keep yourself grounded into the earth. Whichever choice you make, simply draw your breath back to that lowest spot. Feel it blossom and soften as we inhale and exhale. And then bring your awareness back to your jaw. Notice any tension, any forcefulness, and see if you can soften that space between your back teeth. You can let your tongue drop from the roof of your mouth. Notice the way your breath travels the back of your mouth and the back of your throat. And when you're ready, take one hand to your low belly, one hand to your heart. Send your own loving energy up and down your spinal column, through your chakra system. Noticing any sensations, whether they be physical, emotional, or mental. And again, we'll take a big breath in through our nose. Open and soften our mouth to release on a sigh. We'll find that 2 more times. Full cleansing breaths in and out. In and out. Gently bringing palms to touch, thumbs at your heart center. Perhaps blinking a couple times to open those eyes. Divine light in me loves and honors the divine light in you. Namaste. Again, thank you so much for meeting me on the mat today, for sharing your practice and your energy with me. I hope that after this meditation, you are feeling grounded and secure and a little more in touch with that lowest chakra, our root chakra, finding a sense of family and home within your own body, but also within the world around you. Please let me know how you're feeling and what you think. I cannot wait to practice with you again soon.